One. Hey guys, this is Dardamos with Dardamos Dominions. I'm in with a bunch of awesome co-hosts. Ballin, you're in with us.
Hello.
Gaslov, the van player. We get to see one of your big battles coming up.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, cool. And then Grippa, we're going to our statist player, who's finally starting to take a huge role in the game.
I'm doing stuff.
Mandar, my good-looking friend, how's it going?
Going well. How about you?
Novelle, you are did you say you're walking away, or are you with us?
No, I'm here, my friend.
RCK, we got your microphone working.
Yeah, it took me a few minutes, but I got it.
We are in the home stretch, guys. The game is going to come to an end relatively soon. I'm not going to give away how long it's going to be, but pretty soon we're going to see at least the closing of the game. Real quick, we had an adventurer face check an army. I'm kind of curious if he did this on purpose or not. Oh my goodness, we had a big battle in the open, another big battle. We have Satis pushing forward, Satis pushing forward. This is a counterattack by Alm. And I kind of want to get into Alm doing counterattacks because they don't look, they look like they're losing, and we have Marignan that's doing no counterattack. So we're gonna contrast the two of them. Airmore is attacking. Pangea is pushing forward. We have a troll random attack. We have I look forward to talking about this with you guys. So let's push. Let's push into the turn real quick, and we're going to see Scalaria versus Alm in probably one of the largest battles of this game. And I think last time we didn't see mass flight.
I don't think we see mass flight this time either.
I just seen something go down. What just hit all the troops?
Unholy power. That was mass flight.
Oh, no, we do have mass flight.
Anybody want to take Alm winning on this one?
Nope. They're
I
dead.
mean, we saw the battle.
my
RCK, did you remember to script attack rear, or are they still on attack closest?
No, majority of the ones in the back are on attack rear.
Who even cares? There's enough that they can just drown the entire Olmish army. They can surround the entire thing no matter where they attack.
Okay, of note, I'm moving my mouse around, and you can see where like the square is going to. My computer is crying because there are so many. How dare you do this, RCK? You're hurting my computer. Oh my goodness. Oh, where'd they go? Oh, there they are.
You notice all the blade winds missed.
Yep. As you can see, the entire Olmish army is completely enveloped. Any open spaces were just immediately filled by skeletons.
There's a double envelopment. The Black Blade Infantry are enveloped, and the mages are enveloped separately.
Okay, so of note, I want you guys to look and see, because we talked about this last time. Mandar, where would you have put the mages?
I would have put the mages inside of a box formation of the soldiers. Or perhaps put the soldiers on bodyguard. Whatever would work most effectively.
Okay, so you would have put the mages in here. Would it have mattered?
I mean, how much are we talking about mattering? Because you're still probably going to lose, even if you had your mages spamming out fire elementals or something spooky. But it would have made it, you would have done more attrition to the skeletons. It would have been less of a blowout. Oh god, do they have, oh no, that's relief. Alright, I thought that was foul vapors, and that would have been disgusting.
Of note, RCK, I kind of want to ask you about the foul vapors thing. Why did you not put poison resist on your bless?
I don't know. I just didn't go for foul vapors play.
There's like a Satis player. There's a Satis in the game. Would you have changed it in a pan?
I mean, later on I did have Serpent's Blessing in my scripting, but other than that, no.
Would you change it next time?
Probably.
Okay, so that's really interesting because like that's one thing I see in a game where you evolve as a player and you say like, oh my goodness, this is a counter to me. But I like what you said is that you have a non-bless counter planned, correct?
Yes.
That you can do okay, so we've got that too. I love watching this, but we're gonna move it forward.
RCK, you don't have any ghouls in this army, do you?
What do you mean? That I think that army was meant to take the capital.
Or things with minds other than your mages and your...
No, I actually do have plenty of the javelin guys. They were in a line at the beginning of the battle.
Okay, just making sure that like 12
the
guys with
legionaries.
mind burn weren't going to just make
Yeah.
you super sad.
I put that into consideration.
What I love about this is that like you played this so well. I mean, like you waited until you had key magic, you pushed out, and yet there's still some wiggle room in the build where you could improve this build. And like I see that with like the better players, like Lucid always at the very end is like, this is what I could have done differently. This is what I could have done differently. Gaslov, you're kind of a you're a kind of almost like a one-trick pony player where you play a lot of elf nations. Do you think that you've reached the pinnacle of your build?
Pretty close. Yeah, I don't tend to change it up too much anymore.
Now, do you change your build at all based on games, or like where is the change at this point?
Probably about a year ago, I started adding poison resistance to my bless.
Does poison resist pop glamour?
No, it doesn't. But poison is just really powerful in this game, and it's really hard to get resistances as Vanheim, or to get poison resistances as Vanheim. And so I really need it on my bless since it's close to impossible to getting otherwise.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next battle. Now it's Novelle's turn to make my computer cry. So we've got let's see, where are the lictors? You have a pile of lictors. Okay, so you've combined your armies at this point, correct, Novelle?
Yes, that is a merge.
Okay, this battle goes a little differently. What do you have different this time, Gaslov, compared to the last time?
Well, I don't have many vans left. So this is round 3. And what I notice is that the vans actually do a good job of holding his skeletons and even lictors back from being useful, while the Einheirs come around and chop things up. And you're going to see what happens in this battle that makes the difference.
Just a curiosity, the crossbows are piercing damage, and these guys are pierce resist. Is it still worth it?
No, the crossbows I had built to use against anybody but Ermor. Since I had them, I went ahead and threw them in this battle.
Okay, so this is more of a where you're doing anything that you can. You're MacGyvering an army at this point, right?
Yeah. Just what can I do?
Okay, so you have Howl going, which I like as an additional. It just gives more surface area. Novelle, pushing your lictors forward first. Why do you do that with the army coming in behind?
In this case, I know that he has I didn't know it the first time we fought, but I know it now. He has a large contingency of mages, and all of his mages, except for the dwarves, are holy. So I was pretty set on having those lictors eat every smite that he threw. The only reason why there was a delay, or there was a small pocket of solace in front of the lictors, was just to give the other priests, or my unholy priests, a time to get protection on them. So some of those lictors now have higher MR.
No, Novelle, of note, your H4 Prophet has gone berserk.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. That happens. It doesn't bother me too much. It's not like the only thing that's going to kill that Prophet is getting surrounded by Einheirs, and there's enough stuff coming in behind it that I'm not too concerned about it.
Okay, okay. Why? Because I want to contrast this really quick, because we just got done with the battle of RCK's battle, and he said we don't really care about, you told me that he doesn't care about losing all those skeletons. He cares more about losing the troops. But here you are, not really sacrificing, but putting into the forefront your troops that cost death gems rather than the free spawn. Why are you willing to have your lictors take the hits in this case? Why did the situation change?
So for me, my lictors are what's the way that I put it? Yeah, so like they're serving their purpose only by being in the front. Like, I want them to get hit with banishment. I want them to get hit with spells. I want them to get hit with van charges, because if a van charge pops blood vengeance, then the van just instantly dies. So like, these guys are very self-sacrificial, but at the same time, they're a little bit more cost-effective than you might think with this bless behind them. I mean, they effectively have about 2.5 their actual hit total, because they take half damage from weapons. They're resistant to almost all spells, with the exception of fire and shock evocation in this game. They don't get banished very often. They regenerate. Like, they're probably the best front line a person can ask for.
Okay,
So,
the way I like to find an argument and see which way one way or another to go is to go to the absolute extremes. So let's say you win this battle either way, but you have to choose between one of two things. Either you lose all your lictors or you lose all your chaff. Which one would you be okay with?
I would lose all the chaff.
Why?
Because I can get the chaff back up there in a turn.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the lictors have to be in the front to do their job, but like the chaff can just be brought back from home. I'm just like Scalaria. I am just making more and more chaff constantly.
Excellent. Okay, Gaslov, okay, actually, your air elementals, what are you hoping to do with them? Gaslov, why are your are your air elementals, like, what is their job in this fight? Oh, Gaslov just left. Okay, let's send this over to Mandar. What is the purpose of the air elementals in this fight?
They break up formations. They are tough for skeletons to kill. They're really just very good against skeletons. They kill things, break up formations for your Einheirs to kill them. They can sometimes snipe some mages by trampling them in the back. They're generally quite nice.
Why are they so hard? They've got 0 protection. Why are they hard for skeletons to hit?
Because they have high defense skill. They are ethereal. Their defense skill, by the way, goes even higher if you put up a storm. Yeah.
Okay, so they have storm. Oh, they have storm power. So they gain 4 protection if you get them in a storm.
No,
okay.
That's not protection. That's 4 defense skill, which brings them up pretty high.
Well, it's 4 to several stats, but it's not to protection.
Okay, so it's not like Berserk.
Yeah, no. The power abilities are not like Berserk.
Yeah, it's like firepower or magic power. It's attack skill, defense skill, strength, and
MR.
I think combat speed.
And MR.
And MR? I don't think it's MR.
It's magic resist, to my knowledge, yes. Because I know for a fact that magic power on Lemuria gives MR.
Maybe.
I'm sure that all the powers hit all the same stats. And I know that magic power gives MR.
What's interesting, like, look how far we are into this battle. I can't tell if we're actually who's gonna win. I mean, I didn't look at I purposely didn't look at who was gonna win, because I kind of want to ask those questions without knowing. But I mean, like, this is a pretty tight battle here. Okay, we have a breakthrough in the middle.
Oh yeah, that spells doom.
Oh, maybe, but the mages can kind of take care of themselves. These aren't the scariest mages. Oh, nope, there we go. We got the breaking of the mages. Okay, we have a running of the races, and it looks like, I mean, either way, I don't think that this is a good fight for Vanheim. Gaslov, are you back, dude?
I'm back.
Okay,
Sorry
let's say
about that.
theoretically that you won this fight, but took the same losses. Would you be okay with that?
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Should you have dodged this fight?
I don't know what else I could have done. I mean, so one thing that I had differently is I had the full-size air elementals. I had a lot of Van Jarls casting them. I'm actually kind of surprised I lost, but yeah, I mean, I needed to stop him here, and I didn't.
I think that kind of hits on, like, there's sometime in Dominions there's a point where you can't win anymore. It's the game's over for you, and you need to take fights like this just to see if you can roll the dice. Did you test this at all?
No, I didn't test it.
Okay, do you ever test?
Well, I had no way of knowing what exact. Well, I guess I did, sort of. I guess I could have pieced it together what he had, but I will only test against super combatants usually. I don't tend to test against armies. They're too hard to reconstruct.
Okay, RCK, we got Novelle. Novelle was able to critique you last time. I think it's your turn to look at this. Was this a win for Novelle?
Honestly, even though he lost a large amount of lictors, which I know was a lot of his death income, I mean, he still has 30 of them left, and he's completely destroyed the enemy's army. And as far as I know, this is all that Gaslov has.
I think if you're not correct, you're absolutely close to correct. That's I mean, he lost half of his mage corps, and I think this is everything. Gaslov, this is everything, right? Okay, hit.
This is everything but what I have researching.
Novelle, do you think that this was a win for you?
Yeah, definitively it was. I also want to point out that prophet's still alive.
Oh, is he really? Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
He did.
there's no archbishops that have been lost. Yeah, that prophet's still alive. He put like 5 things, by the way. It like,
I really want to know if
he would make it.
Hold
he was in the front line, but he made it.
I know we're trying to go fast, but I want to go see his combat log at the end and see if he hit anybody offside the head with the stick.
Because if he did, that's done a ton of damage.
He's getting close.
Yeah, he's in the front line.
My computer is crying. We're gonna wait till they run. Okay, I want to go see. The Archbishop. I'm assuming it's the one with 4 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Hit him in the head with a lot of death.
Look at this! He's killing guys left and right. Oh man!
Oh man!
They will not be going to Valhalla.
He hit a troll for 21 damage.
Holy crap!
Bam!
Honestly, I think if this battle were simulated again, I don't think he'd win.
I'm kind of curious if you're correct. I think that this could have gone either way. But Novelle, I think you need to start kitting out your archbishops. Take that berserker, and I think we have just found your next iteration of Airmorian builds.
I mean, they are the only thing that I will actually thug. I don't want to thug out the elders or specters. So yes, I will eventually. I do eventually thug out archbishops because
Hear me out. You go live Airmore and just stay with the archbishops. Get some indie troops. You're set. Okay. Now it is something completely different. Where was the next fight? I know there was another big fight that came up. Was there a big fight? Okay, of note, I do want to... Oh, no, that was our second fight. Okay, Marignan has now went in, and there was nothing inside this fort. So he one turn popped it, and then cleared it out. I think that this kind of notes that Pan has these 2 provinces just sitting here, and he isn't doing much of anything with them. And I think it's a real shame that he's doing that.
Yeah, look at that stack on his capital. Like, what has he been doing?
I don't know what he's doing with this. So theoretically, Pan goes and oh my goodness! Not only was the trolls hit his, so this is unfortunate. Let's go to Grippa with this. Grippa, let's say that you're Pan, that you did the right thing, and that you took Marignan out incredibly fast. Who do you attack next?
As Pan, assuming good intel, you have to hit Solaria. If you don't have good intel, you'd probably hit her more. If you're not interested in saving the game, you go for like Satis. And I don't say that just as a Satis player.
Okay, so he's got 2 points here. He's got 2 points here. He has 4 points, and in order to win, you need thrones. You need 9, so he just needs to get another 3 thrones. And can he get that from you? So he can't win by attacking you. So yeah, I think you're right. I think he needs to go in another direction. What is this one? Is this 3-pointer? No. Okay. So yeah, I think that he should have been much more aggressive on this. I want to go over really quickly the big fight of the turn is this one. What is this?
Thanks.
Mandar, we're gonna go with you in this one because I think that either you or Gaslov have the experience on all of us. What do you do against this? Because I mean, I'm not gonna go into what the units are, but this is a very scary group of indies. How do you beat this group? Like, do you just send in a small unit, or how do you beat it?
You cast Charm a lot, and then you make new friends.
I like that.
Yeah. Particularly worm mages. I've had great success with worm mages against these guys. You tell them to, you stick them right in front. You tell them to attack, charm, advance and cast spells, and they will just spam charm all battle long, and they will make you so many friends. You can give them maybe an Eye of the Void for penetration, a luck charm so that they don't get killed when they get reduced to bugs. Or mages are fantastic for making friends out of enemy thugs. And, of course, Bogus and Co., these hero, adventurer, troll guys, totally worth making friends. But if you don't have them, a whole bunch of pans with Maenads as chaff, that'll work just fine for spamming charm to make new friends. This is good. This is good to have.
And for it to come down on a desert, like if this ended up on the throne in your cap circle, they're dead.
It would be a rush, but when it's on a desert, you can take your time. Oh, yeah. This was ideal.
We kept these guys around for something like 20 turns in order to get charm eventually. We knew that it was eventually coming up, but 20 turns we let them sit on a territory.
Totally worth it.
Yep. That was my goal.
It doesn't have gold income. It barely has gem income. Totally worth it. Great call.
I was upset that they yoinked the Marshmaster, I think, or something like that.
So let's go over... Oh my goodness, that was a PD dump that he did here. RCK, why'd you PD dump?
I was rolling around in gold, and I stopped giving it Novelle.
Ha! That's amazing. And I think it's also, as much as it didn't do very well, I kind of support this. It's good PD type. And I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't more successful than this. 60 Barbarians feels like it should have done something.
In that army I lost during the last video, because I wasn't able to talk, that didn't matter at all. That was just to either crack a fort or kind of distract something.
Yeah, I think that Novelle did a good job of explaining that it wasn't that big of a loss. So
yeah, it had really no mages in it.
And I definitely agree with it. I like to the thing the only thing that we've really criticized was that you weren't more aggressive at the beginning. But that move right there where you lost all that kind of showed the point that you can lose a lot and it's still okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move into the next turn. So turn 39 is next.
I think what happened was I was waiting on a mage to come up to the army, because I think what you're talking about wasn't aggressive enough. Like a turn or two, that army set on the border. I think I was collecting all the mages to it. I can't exactly remember.
Vanheim, you're up with the message.
All right. So, obviously I'm a little salty at this point. Okay?
A little salty?
So I say, unfortunately, I do not have the research I need to counter simply being overwhelmed. Because, this whole game has just been a war the entire time. And I say I'm sure Satis feels pretty good about himself right now, but what he doesn't seem to understand is that he'll have to face Scalaria alone now. The thing about Undead Nations is if you don't kill them early, you won't be killing them. And since Ermor expended his entire Death Gem economy into making lictors, I'm guessing he's only researching about 100 to 200 RP per turn, so I think Scalaria has this one in the bag. The good news is, I think this game will be an education to a bunch of these players, and they will be a little more savvy to which nations to really watch out for.
Okay, so I want to come back to this, but I want to push forward and see what we have. So Pangaea is finally attacking some of the territories that he should have already. We've got a lot of just pushing out with armies hitting PD. We have a PD dump by Marignan, but I think it's a little. Oh, I mean, it did its job. It stopped that the Maynad raid. 58 centaurs for 9 trolls. I'm not sure if that's efficient. And then another. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is
these guys were trapped.
Yeah, it's the end at this point. And just a bunch of pushing forward by a lot of different nations. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a lot that you can do. Okay. So I want to hit on the last stands of Vanheim, because this is the gasp, and this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to push onto this turn, was because I wanted you here for your last couple turns. But before we do that, I want to, or actually, hitting on your message, and I want to go over, because it's kind of what RCK, what you were saying, like, you know, I want to be here so we can, like, I can lessen the blows. And I want to hit Mandar with this. Mandar, do you think anybody in this game played perfectly?
No, nobody in any game plays perfectly. What kind of crack are you smoking?
My parents play perfect all the time.
Do you think that there were players that played worse than other players? And I don't want you to name names, but do you think that there was like a level disparity?
Yes, of course.
Do you think that we were harder on the players that played well, or do you think that we were harder on the players that played poorly?
Oh, we're way harder on the players that played well. They did more things, so there are more things to be hard on them for.
I would double down on that and say I absolutely, the players that played well, and I honestly, Scalaria, RCK, you were one of the best players in this game. Just from turn one, we're like, oh my goodness, Scalaria has a terrible start. We don't know if they're going to be able to get on their feet, and you played that absolutely well. But I mean, we hit on on the fact that you should have been more aggressive. You're poison resistant. You're blessed. Ermor is winning the war against Vanheim, who was the strongest player, and we hit on your death sights. And what's interesting about being the omniscience player is that we have this ability to look on you guys, and even though you guys played an absolute wonderful game so far, I still think that, you know, we're still nitpicking, and I don't think that it's, you know, us being jerks about it. I think it's just like there's improvement beyond even on the better players. So hats off to RCK. You've done a wonderful job in this game.
Thank you.
And same thing to you, Novelle. You've done a wonderful job in this game.
And Gaslov with that rush. Like, he's losing right now, but it should be noted. He started off real strong, and it took a pile of people to bring him down. That was no mean feat.
And I want to get one thing that I think that we knocked on Grippa the whole game on his expansion, on his bless, and something like this. But I think a couple turns ago, like Grippa, we all kind of agreed you're in the number 2 position here, and you just took a cap.
I am a pretty good number 2.
Is there anybody that has a second cap at this point except Grippa?
I don't think so.
I think you're the only 2-cap nation in this game. So, I mean, I think that we were very harsh, but just well played on all of the players so far. And we're going into the home stretch at this point, because the thing I like about, I do 50% +1 thrones, all 2-pointers with a single 3-pointer that kind of gives you that wild card. Does he get it or not? But one thing I like about it is that if you don't coalition and watch out for each other, somebody's going to throne rush. And I want the viewers out there, and I don't want to give it too far away, somebody's going for a throne rush. And we have 1, 2, 3 thrones within Vanheim's cap area that are absolutely vital. And that are, one of them being the 3-pointer. Novelle, which one is the 3-pointer?
It's the one with the fire snakes on it.
That's this one up here. Okay,
Yes,
so
that's Splendor.
we have the ability of Aramore and Scalaria to take the 3-pointer. On the other hand, Sitis is starting to gobble up some of these southern thrones. This one right here, he has the ability to get this one. So all 3 players are kind of in a position to throne rush. Pan could theoretically throne rush if they get highly aggressive as well. So I say that because we're coming to the end of the episode. Was there anything else that you guys saw in this turn that we should be pointing out? I can't think of anything off of hand.
Actually, so in an earlier episode, I misspoke. I didn't realize I did not need to take Marion or Ulm's throne. If I just needed those 4 thrones, and I could have throne rushed.
I think you're absolutely true. Do you think it would have mattered?
No, because I never had an opportunity to stop fighting and take thrones.
I think I agree with you, and that's one of the most frustrating part of some of my games is like I can't stop fighting because when you're fighting, like what were the things that what did constant war cost you?
Research. No, that's the big thing.
Okay, guys, I'm starting to get fatigued because I think this is our 3rd or 4th video, so I'm going to call it at this point. I'm really excited that we're getting to the end of the game. I'm excited that you guys are getting aggressive, and I will. Let me give my thanks to the people that joined us today. Gaslov, I'm so excited that I don't see anything major that you did incorrect, except your diplomacy was a disaster, but I don't even know if that's your fault. So thanks for joining us and taking that last ride with us.
Yep, thanks a lot for having me.
Grippa, I'm really excited to see you being highly aggressive, and I think the high aggression level is doing you very well.
I like how every time I'm brought up, it's about, hey, you're attacking someone. You're not wrong, but thank you.
And what's interesting, dude, every time you attack, it's been highly successful. Mandar, thanks again for joining us. I really appreciate you in the game, and I really want you in the next one as a player, even though we'd lose you here.
All right. Thanks for having me, and I will see what I can do about joining the next one.
Novelle, I've really appreciated your input on this. It's been really interesting having a player in at all times, kind of giving us an idea of what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, man! Always been happy to help. I can't wait for the next one.
RCK, I'm so glad you're able to join with us on this one. I'm kind of sad because we didn't get you in on your big reveal of how much research you had and how you had waited until exactly this point in order to push out. But dude, you're starting to roll, and this looks good.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Okay, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.